Good afternoon. Welcome to the ESP Orders webinar. My name is Eve, and I will be your trainer for today. In this webinar, we will demonstrate how to create, edit, send, and close an order in ESP. ESP provides us with the flexibility to create an order from a wide variety of area, but the most common starting point is from an ESP web search. So after logging into ESP, we can do a search for the product that we would like to order. If you're interested in learning more about how to search, we do offer a training session called ESP Web Getting Started to assist you with how to effectively search within ESP. All right. So first step is to go into ESP Web. So the fastest way to get there is to type search esp.com, right, which will take you to the login page. If you're already logged in, it should take you to ESP Web. All right. So there, let's go ahead and see if we can order like a t-shirt. Let's try a t-shirt here. Search for one. We have quite a few results here, over 17,000. So let's see if we can find one that offers multiple options or colors here. Let's see. Let's try this Gildan AP 500 here. So from there, we can just click on, if we look, we see that order button here. So we just click on that. All right. So over here, so it takes us to the product option, color option, set up by the supplier for us in order to start configuring the product. So we can select colors if we want multiple colors, right? Click on continue. All right. So because the product information is displayed in this matrix, we are able to see all the available options and enter the quantities for the ones that we need. So let's go ahead and enter quantities. And as we enter quantities, like for instance, we're gonna enter, let's see, 10 small black ones. We'll do 10 medium red, 10 large safety green. We do 10 XL lime green, and we'll do 10 sapphire blue double XL. All right. And as we can see, as we selecting the quantities, this is updating for us on our end. So we have a total quantity of 50, all right, with the total product cost as well as the product price, all right? And then we also have the margin set up here. We can click on save cart, save to cart if we want to continue shopping and get back to the cart. But let's go ahead and click on continue so we can go to the next step. All right. So in the choose your customer section, which is here, we can use this drop down over here to select a company from our CRM. So if the company we would like to use has not yet been added to our CRM, we can use this link over here to add a new one. So let's go ahead and select a company here. So let us do first one here, 3D Orthopedic Medical Center. So we'll click on that. All right. So when selecting a customer, if we designated specific contacts as the primary for billing, shipping, and or acknowledgement, those contacts will display over here. And that's why we have billing, shipping, and acknowledgement, address, and everything here. All right. So, and then we can just click on continue. In the decoration section, we can use this drop down to select any previously saved decoration that we have. So we have some here. So this one, we don't have it. Also, we have the decorator because Primeline do their own decoration. So they already show up here because they're going to be the supplier as well as the decorator. If we were dealing with a supplier, who doesn't decorate, then at this point we would have to put our own decorator or just choose one as well. And we still have the option anyway if we want to buy the product unimprinted, and then we can send it to our own decorator. All right, this is an option. So we also have vendor notes if we want to put notes for the supplier. If we want those notes to be visible in client-facing documents, we'll click on visible here. Imprint methods, like I say, we could have taken on imprinted, but we'll do silk screen over here. All right. Imprint location name, that's provided by the supplier as well. As we can see, we've got full front, full back SS, we've got full front left chest and everything else. So I'll do the first one. All right, and we get a chance to change that or add additional one if we want to later towards the order process. Imprint color, we can add an imprint color. So we'll try to add one that's pretty much universal that may work with pretty much all the colors we pick. So we'll put white. All right, we can add an imprint size if we want to. Most of the time, those suppliers, they have a standard size for basically their decoration as far as imprint. But if we want a size, we can actually add a size here. All right. Same thing with instructions. We can type comments regarding the size. That we need something like, per size. We can put some additional instructions here. And we can also attach artwork regarding what we want to add to basically the front of the church. So we'll go ahead and click on attach here, and I'm going to look for a logo. I'll do the ASI logo. And as you can see, this is attached here. All right. So we can also attach an Excel file for personalization, and that would give us access to as well uploading that Excel file into the order system. And the reason you would use an Excel file is if you have like a big order and you want basically everything detailed into the Excel as far as what goes, where, then yeah, you can use that as well. All right. Hovering over the uploaded artwork will display a small toolbar that we see here. There are three options: preview, which opens the image in full size. We've got the download. This downloads it onto our computer. And we've got the delete here that removes the image completely. All right. And we also have the option to save the decoration information for future orders. This means that if we might be using the same imprinting configurations again for another order, we could save these decoration details and then apply them during the future order. All right. So if everything looks good here so far, we can just go ahead and we can start creating the order. So let's go ahead and click on create order. All right. The first step when completing the order is to select the customer from the customer dropdown, which we did that while we were configuring the product. We got a chance over here to, if we want to change it or if we want to, change something about it, we can do that over here. All right. Along the top toolbar over here, we have the option to view a lot of information. So we can edit the order by hovering over it and clicking on this. We can also use this drop down that we have here to decide whether it's going to be a reorder or revised order, so that that's a way to label this order. So if this is a new one, by default it is on new, but we can call it a reorder or a revised order. All right. Also along the top here, this is where we can find some additional information, basically. So we've got the task. So if we have any task that's been added in the CRM for this particular customer, it will be listed here. All right. And we can also add a task here if we want to. All right. Visibility, that's for the order. Right now it's set up to everyone. If we want it to be only for the record creator, we will select this, or for teams or individuals, we can do that as well. Right. Notes, if we have any notes, this is where we would basically go in and take a look at the notes that we have, and we can also add notes as well. This is the artwork. This is the one that I just uploaded. If we decide not to use that anymore, we can click on that X and remove it. We can go ahead and upload another one, right? And we also get basically some file format here, logo format, PNG, TIF, JPG, PDF, DSL, AI, EPS, or SVG. This is some of the file formats that is acceptable over here. Also on top here, we can click on this view CRM record to open the CRM record for that customer. So that would open it completely. We have the status of the order. It's open because it's an open order, right? We can click on the status. We can see some additional statuses here. So if we decide to change the status, we can do that over here. Let's say, for instance, we do verifying artwork, and we can click on verifying artwork and put a note as well, just to explain the status. Now, some of you are probably not going to see all that. You probably just see open or close. If you see that, that means that basically the admin for the company has not added some additional statuses and label them and give like a color code. So they'd have to go into basically the admin section of ESP over here, and then they'll be able to do that, right? So if you're an admin, this is the place. We do have a class that handles all the admin settings. So I highly recommend scheduling that class. All right. All right. So we got the order total, and we also have the balance due. That's over here. All right. So we got the order contact. For this company, the order contact is Jen. We can edit the order contact, and we can also just click here to select another one. All right. We got the salesperson, me. All right. That's doing the order here. We've got a purchase order reference number. So if we get one from a customer and we want to include that in there, so we have a purchase order reference number, then we can add that there. So that when we give our customers a purchase reference, order reference, for whatever reason, or going back to the order, we know this relates to whatever it is that our customer has on their end as far as the number, because they may not have that same number here. So that will be one way to reference whatever number they have on their end with this order. All right. Order date, those calendars that we have here. So one of them is order date, second one is enhanced date, and the third one is ship date. The first one, order date, is going to be by default. It's going to show today's date. Enhanced date, if a customer wants to receive the shipment at a particular date, we can come here and let's say they want it on the 30th. We can put that in there, and we can select whether or not they want it firm or flexible. If they say flexible, we can do that. If they say firm, then we know it has to be the 30th. So I'm going to put that as flexible and click on apply. And we get that question saying, would you like to apply your date changes to all products? Click on yes. All right. If that applies to all products. We also have a ship date that we can add to, but again, these are optional. All right. So as we scroll down, we can see the section which contains 3 available address boxes, one for billing, one for shipping, and one for acknowledgement. If we have already designated primary contacts for any of these fields, they will automatically be entered. As we can see, those are entered. If not, we can use this drop down basically to select the appropriate contact when selecting contacts, related contacts, which consist of any records within our CRM that have a link to the customer selected for the order. All right, that's going to be displayed first. All right. All right. So if we do not see the contact we need, we can start typing the contact, and then it's going to basically start displaying. All right. We have also those boxes over here. So if we decide to make some changes to the billing and we want the shipping to be the same as billing, we can just click on that, and automatically that's gonna populate for you. All right. A perfect example. If I click here and I put suite 2 and I click on save, if I click on same as billing, automatically we can see that change over here. We can see apply to all. Same thing over here too. All right. So just as an example. Now, the blind ship, if we gonna ship the item and we want to make sure that supplier slash decorator doesn't give any information as far as the supplier their own information to be shown on the shipment, then we want to do blind ship. All right, that information would not be there. That's basically what that means. Let's go on and move to that side over here, terms. So if we have terms already preset for that customer in the CRM, they would show up here. If we don't, and let's say we spoke to the customer and we forgot to add that to the CRM for them, so it's easier to just add it to the CRM and it will automatically be populated into the order whenever we create an order for that customer through the automatic. But over here, we can add some terms. All right. So we got some terms that are pre-populated. Let's say we have 50% advance, 50% upon completion. We can put that here. This is an agreement that we have with that customer that will do 50% advance over here. And then over here, we can add the information. So if a customer paid us with American Express, we can put that here. All right. Ship via, this is account as far as shipping accounts. So if we want to use a shipping information, we can select shipping here and put an account number there. If we want it to be visible, the customer facing documents and stuff, then we'll click on that visible here. If not, then it will be just for our record here. That's what we want to use, right? Tag, same thing. If we want to tag basically the order, and tags help with locating the order. So we want to go back and say, hey, we want to be able to remember to look at that order. We can put, let's say, Gildan. We put that as a tag. We know that the product number is AP 5000, right? So we add that as a tag, and so forth. So it's just a matter of basically adding some of the tags here when it comes to that particular order, all right? Let's see what else we have here. We can create an invoice from here, from the order directly. And what that's going to do is it's going to create an invoice. It's going to link all the information here to the invoice already. So we can create the invoice from that order. So we can send to our customer. All right. So there are tabs for basically pricing, decoration, shipping, and purchase orders, where we can view the information for the specific. If we want it, so like I say, if we want to create an invoice, we can click on invoice here. So let's go ahead and go over these right here. We can add additional products to this order by clicking on that, right? We also have another option here, that little drop down arrow that we see here, and we can add a new product. So the difference between adding a product and a new product, let me click on add product so we can see exactly what option we get. When we click on add product, we have 4 different areas where we can add products to this order. We have our clipboard, because we already have some items already in the clipboard where we can select from, all right, and we'll add it to the order. We can go to a shopping cart. If we already had some of the shopping cart, we can add them from there. Our projects, if we have items, products that are saved to our projects, we can do that from here. The difference between projects and shopping cart, and I believe we covered that in the ESP presentation class, is that when an item is saved into the clipboard, for instance, the shopping cart is basically while the site is active, right? The clipboard only keeps a product for 90 days. So up to 90 days after that, the product is basically gone. Projects, if we have a product saved in a project, that says indefinitely. So if we want to make sure that we want to be able to pull a product without having to search for it every 90 days, then at this point we can tie it up to a project and we can pull it from there, right? Or we can do a product search. You can just go ahead and search for the product and just add the product, right? The new button, right, is different. if we want to add a product that's not in ESP. So basically, we're doing an order. We have this wonderful order system in ESP, but we have products that we sell outside of ESP, or we have a vendor that we use with that we work with that's outside of ESP. We can still load a new product and add it to there, except that we'll have to build the product from scratch. None of that, those information will carry on because that product is not in ESP. So we'll have to update that information as far as putting an image for the product, put a description and everything. So all we're gonna get is when we click on the product, we'll get this blank page that has no information at all, not even an image for the product. So we'll have to go in and click on edit, add our own image. But yeah, this is an option that we have that we can add. All right, service, we can add 3 different kind of services to the order: freight, shipping and handling, and service charge from there. All right, we can add a title to the order, and the title is just for us. We just give the order a title so we know that we can go back and look at the title to know exactly what. We can also import a line item into that order. Basically, if we have previous orders that we ordered already and we want to import a line item, we can just do that. We click on import line item, and that shows the list of our previous orders. That's going to populate soon here. Let's see, give it some time if it shows. Okay, so that's not populated yet, is because we haven't. Oh, there you go. So now we can just go in. Let's say we did an order last week for 7-Eleven. We open it up and we can actually just grab this and load it up directly into this current order. So this is one option that we can do. We can import stuff into the order. All right. We've got our product information here, cost with everything that we did, total price, the margin, and the tax and everything, because for that customer we have tax basically set up for that customer, so we know that it's going to calculate the tax here. So we have that information here, including the sales tax. All right, so let's go ahead, and when we hover over the image of the product, we get 3 options. We get edit, we get copy, and delete. Copy is just going to copy basically is going to create an additional listing of the same configuration as this product right here. All right, or we can just delete it. All right, so let's click on the edit button so we can configure the product prior to ordering it. So let's click on that. Now we have the configuration tab. All right, so let's start with this. In this tab, we are able to edit any of the product information for this item. Hovering on the image will display the edit button. We can use that to browse our computer to upload different image. One of the reasons we would want to do that, like I said, this is the image that's supplied or that's being supplied already by the supplier. But let's say that we have Photoshop or we have some external software where we want to show exactly how we want the logo on the shirt, especially if the supplier did not provide enough information as far as where the logo would be, then we can do that by editing the picture and putting our own picture with our own logo and say, okay, this is exactly how I want it to look. All right, so we'll click on that to do that. We also see the option to edit the product number. All right, the customer product number, the product name, and also the product description over here. So all that. And additionally, we can see the product category and we can see the supplier. So this is all the information that's there. So those 2, we can change these, but this over here, we can actually click into those boxes and make changes or add additional information there. All right. So the options here are available on all the tabs in the edit product window. So the product attributes or variants, which is over here, that this is what we've selected during the order process when we're doing that, and they all got imported over here. So if you remember, we did 10 small, we did 10 shirts, extra large, and all that. So they're all listed over here with the appropriate quantities. We also have the net cost, we have the margin, and we also have the price. All right. If we want to remove something, let's say we don't want the double XL anymore, we can just click on X and just remove it and it will be gone. All right. Another thing we can do is, do you see that those three dashes? We can change the order. So if we want things to be in order, for instance, we have the small and we have the extra large here, and then we have medium and large after. We can actually click here and drag the extra large all the way at the end. So like that, it will come at the end. So we have them in order. All right. So that's why this is there. If we want to see all the available charges for that the supplier provided for this product, they will be here. We'll click on add, show all charges, and we would have to add those individually, basically, if we want to add them to the order. All right, and we also have the option in charges here where we can add charge and add one charge to that order as well. All right. The add line item, if we want to add additional variants, we can do that as well here. Come here and add variants. And we can also change the variant out over here too. So if we click on this drop down and we decide we don't want the 10 small again, we want 10 medium, we can do that over here. All right, just wanted to show that here. So when we're done, we don't even have to click on save. We can just switch to a different tab from there. All right, because when we click save once, everything will be saved here. All right, so in the decoration tab, we can enter information regarding the imprinting options for the product. So all imprinting option information is sectioned by the location. We can use this area to set the location on the imprint over here. So we've got the location for the imprint. So we've got the decorator, the vendor here. We've got the method, all right, and also if we want to remove the input location, we can remove that. Or if we want to change our mind, we can click on that little drop down here and we can select a different one here. All right. What else we can do here? Let's see, we can add decoration details. So decoration details is the imprint color is white. Let's say that we think that the white may not be as vivid under maybe under safety green. We want it to be, for instance, black. We can actually link the white to different variants of the different variants, and then we can add an additional one, for instance, here, and call it black, and then link it to the safety green, for instance. And this is just an example, all right? And if we change our mind or anything, then we can just click on X over here. Down here, we have the file that's been attached. Again, same thing, we can attach another one here. We can select from the CRM. Decoration charges that we have, they're already here. We have a setup charge. One that's $25 cost per quantity. And then we have a margin of 20%. We can also change those, all right? Same thing with, this is just the suggested, basically with your price based on what the supplier, but we can also change those over here. So if we want to basically provide a discount, we wanted to charge less, we can do that over here as well. Or if we want to basically eat up the whole charge as well, then we can change that to basically 0. That's because we basically we don't want our customers to pay at all for setup charge. Then we'll change that to 0, and that would basically increase kind of the margin. I believe it's going to decrease the margin, so to let us know that will be taken over, because the net cost, it's going to stay the same here as the margin that's going to change. All right, one charge, same thing here. We've got, this is a one charge, so 28 cents per quantity of 40, all right, with a margin, and that falls under the price. All right, and again, we can save the decoration details when we get here. All right, so let's go ahead and go to the instructions tab. In the instructions tab, we are able to include specifications on any of the order types. All right. So we can use the order type drop down over here to select the type of documentation, such as we have acknowledgement or invoice, for which the distributor would like to include basic instructions. All right. So we are the distributor. So basically, if you want to include instructions there, you can choose which documents. If we want to do all, it's going to be on all documents. So let's say we want to add and instructions for the supplier on that purchase order and say, call me upon receipt, right? And then we can put a phone number for the customer. So once the supplier receives the purchase order, the supplier will receive that instruction that says call me upon receipt. We can add additional instructions here, basically acknowledgement for the customer on the invoice, all right? And if we want to remove a set, we can do that here and remove it, right? Let's move on to the shipping tab. Here in the shipping tab, we can see the shipping path for the product. So as we can see here, it's being shipped from Prime line to a customer. So we can add a destination, shipping destination here, all right? And then we can edit where it's going. So for instance, by default, if we added a different decorator, we would have two different places here. We would have ship coming from the basically the vendor to the decorator, and then we'll have a second one that would go from. So now if we change our mind and then we say, you know what, we want to add basically a decorator along the way, then we can click here and add a shipping decoration here. So this is where we would basically change this. So we'll change that because this is set by default to my company because the original one is my company. We will switch this to the decorator, and then this would label as a decorator, and then that would go to the customer. So it will go from the supplier to the decorator, and then from the decorator to the customer. And if you want to remove that, we just click and remove it. So again, because we already have the decorator, that's why this is defaulted. So we will not have any issue if we had selected a decorator from the beginning, a third-party decorator, it would already be lined up here. But in case we didn't, and we decided while we're doing this, we say, you know what, I want to add my own decorator, I don't want to use Primeline, then this will be the way to do it. All right. So let's talk about split this shipment, which is pretty much if we want to split the shipment, we can click here, and then this is where we can decide where the shipment is going. So again, that can be the same as far as the shipment going to the decorator. Let's say we want to split the shipment, but we also we're doing one from the supplier to the customer, one portion, but there's a portion of the products that we want to send to a different decorator. Then we would use this part right here. So we would select, instead of selecting customer, we would select basically a decorator from here, and then we would add a shipping destination. All right, so it would be from the decorator to the customer, and then the next part would be to select the quantity. All right, we're gonna keep it simple so that no one gets confused here about those numbers. But yeah, so if we're doing like we have 40 shirts, we're doing 20 shirts are gonna go straight to the customer, but another 20 are gonna get done something done that the prime line doesn't do, is gonna go to a third-party decorator. That's where we would basically make those changes here. All right, so let's go into quantity. So over here, because we require to add a different company, so we would, let's say we decide this one's going to go to Ember. All right. So we are splitting the shipment from the vendor, and it's going to someone else. All right. So this is going to Ember, and then we get to click on the quantity now. And let's say that we want 5 of the small shirts to go to her. As you can see, that was then automatically, it gets shipment number 1 gets adjusted, right? Same thing, we want 5 safety green to go to that location, and it becomes 5. And if we change it to 2, this becomes 8. So it basically adjusts automatically. And then here we are, we have 2 shipments here. We have 1 shipment going from the supplier to this customer, and we have shipment number 2 going to from the supplier to this, and we can edit those as well. All right, so let's go ahead and cancel out of that. All right, so once we're done with this section, we can just go ahead and go to sales tax here. I've already spoken about the enhanced date, ship date, the ship via is pretty much the same information that we saw when we were dealing with the creation of the order. All right, so we just get the option to add them here as well. All right, so let's go to sales tax. In the sales tax, we can establish the sales tax information for this product. It is important for us to keep in mind that as a distributor, it is our company's responsibility to ensure that taxes are appropriately charged and collected. So we can click on the add tax rate to input the tax information for the product. We can use the add tax rate link to add multiple taxes if needed. So for instance, I've got the state tax over here for 6%. Let's say for this particular product, this is special, like a special district tax or city tax. We can add a city tax here. We'll put the city here and we'll put a percentage here. All right. And then of course, again, if we realize that, you know what, we don't really need the city tax for this one, we always have that X button here that we click on and that removes it for us. All right. And then once we're done with everything that we need over here, and we've gone through all those tabs and we're all set, we'll just click on save. And that saves everything. So the system checks for errors, make sure everything, and we get a success message over here. All right. So let me show you another. I remember we said 50% advance, 50% completion. Let's say, for instance, we did receive some of the payment for that, and we receive about, you know, half of that payment, right? So we can go ahead and add enter a payment. If we don't see that option, that's because the admin needs to set that again up. And again, we do have a class for those admin in order to go to the settings, but there's a settings in the back that enables people to your coworkers to enter a payment here. So if we don't see that here, we can go to our admin and say, hey, and if you're an admin and you don't have that option and you don't know where to find it, then at this point you can give us a call, 1-800-546-1350, and we'll walk you to where you can find the settings for that. All right. So we can enter the payment here. Let's say we receive some of the payment here. So I'm thinking it's about 190 for half of this. So I'll put this at let's say 198, probably 98, right? Maybe 188. Yes, 189.98. I'm thinking is probably the half there. 98. And then basically at this point, we can put what they American Express. If we have a transaction number, we can put a card. We'll put that here, and we'll put the date that we receive the payment. And we can just basically click on save. Once we do that, then it should update, and we'll see that we receive $189.98, and then we have a balance of 198 cents due. All right. Let's see. What else do we have here? Also going down here, we've got some additional information in addition to the amount due. We've got preview, where we can preview basically the different documents that we have. So we click on preview just to show you. It saves it for a little bit. And then it shows us the different documents. The purchase order basically is for the supplier, packing list, all right, for the company. And then we have acknowledgement that goes to our customers. So the main concern is really the purchase order. The first step is to actually send the purchase order to supplier. So we're mostly concerned about this. The sales order is something that if we want to send the sales order to a dedicated email within our organization so they can have a copy of it, we can do that over here. All right. And this is the acknowledgement form if we want to send, sorry, an acknowledgement form to our customer. Right, and this is just packing list for the supplier. So if we want to take a preview of it, we can click on preview, and that gives us a little preview of what goes to the supplier. So we can see all the information here. It has our costs as opposed to our price. So the acknowledgement will show the price to the customer, but the purchase order will show as a distributor, because we pay, we have a special price, then we have a cost. So it will show just the cost, because that's what goes to the supplier. All right. We can see where it's being shipped to. All right. We have all the information. We have enhanced date flexible. All that information is there. All right. We have all the different variants and their appropriate quantities. What else do we have here? We have the salesperson, the order contact for the order. All right. And then we also have our artwork over here. All right. And you remember that instruction that I wrote down, call me upon receipt, and I made it visible basically for the purchase, for the supplier to see it. Here it is here, right? Of course, we want to, that was just an example. If we want to make it more, we want to put a phone number there or anything, then they know that we have to call upon receipt. So this is one example. All right, so let me go back to the order. So I'm going to get out of that. Again, let me give you some of those as well, options that are here. We can download the artwork again from here directly. We can view the packing list. We can download this order form. So because we can send it through ESP over here, but we can also download it. So we can have a PDF version of it if we want to save it, and if we want to send it basically using our own email system as an attachment, we can do that, or we can just print it as well, and we can do all. It's up to us here at this point. All right. The acknowledgement form, same thing. The only thing is this one just basically shows the price that the customer pays. All right, and this goes to the customer. It's just to acknowledge basically that, so this is just a preview. I'll show you what happens when you actually get ready to send them. The more button that we see here gives us a few options. We can manage the currency of the order. We can delete the order from there. We can do reorder, so that would initiate the order of the same thing again, or we can create a quote from there if we want to send a quote basically to our customers. All right. So now that we're done with this, ready to send it, we can click on send here. If we have QuickBooks integrated already in ESP, if we went to that section, we integrated our QuickBooks information, we can click on send to QuickBooks, and the order gets sent to QuickBooks automatically. Otherwise, we click on send, and we get the same documents that we have here. So we click on the purchase order, that goes to the supplier. We hit continue, and then we get this pop-up box that gets pre-populated with the email address that the supplier has to receive orders. So that gets added here. CC, we've got my name here. I'm the distributor, so that goes to whatever email address is linked to my basically login. So I get a CC of that. My promo office, I'm going to show you where to find that. This is our email system in ESP. Basically, so by leaving that here, it sends a copy of this to the internal email address as well in ESP, and that can be located in the tab under the CRM. So if you click on CRM and then you go down to email, and this is where you find that email. If you want to know what that email is as well, just in case you're sending this basically offline, sending it to ESP using your own system, but you still want to get a CC of it, you can go to, I'll show you where to go after, so we have an idea of that. What else do we have here? We've got the reply, which is our one reply email. Basically, we've got the subject line that's pre-populated with the order number. We can change those if we want to. And we have a message box that says hello, included purchase order. Please confirm that you've received this order. So basically, we can also click inside and change that information as well. All right, let me check, make sure we don't have any other additional questions here. Everything looks good. So and then we get that check mark that attached the PDF that we see here to the order. And then when we're ready, we just click on send. All right, I'm gonna send that order. So I'm gonna go back here. So when we're done, we can get out of that completely. So let's get out of it. Click on that X here. Let's wait till all the orders get populated. The system catch up. It's got a lot of orders. There you go. So now before I go into how to search for an order, let's talk about the email that I just mentioned. If you go into CRM and we'll click on email under the CRM, right? And this is where you can see all the email, and this is the email address for the @promo office email. So you want to get that. As you can see here, you've got all the different emails here, no purchase order form. And this is where, when you send a purchase order, this is where you get the CC email. You can open them up. You get all emails, you get my email, and you get some, if you have spam, it goes to the spam folder. All right, so let's go back to orders. All right, so now this is the order system. So there's going to be time that we want to search for orders. We can always click on the search by product or by supplier. We can put some information here that would allow us to search for orders. We can also use those filters that we have here. We can search by status, search by date, order date, enhanced date. We can search by customers, and we see a list of all our customers here. We can click on see more. So that every filter shows us the top 5. We can click on see more to expand that. All right. So we have contacts. We can search by billing, shipping, acknowledgement contact, product categories over here. We can search by vendors. We can even search by website. So if we have an ESP website and we want to search all orders that came through via the website, we can actually click on website, and it's going to show us that. We can even search by sales rep, right? And the tag. Remember, we added some tag, AP5000 Gildan. We can actually use those tags and say, hey, I remember I ordered a Gildan shirt. Let me type in Gildan to see, and then we can use that, and that's going to just show orders for Gildan shirts. All right. So another that we can see as well, if we only see 10 orders displayed per page, we can increase that by clicking on 25 or 50 or 100. Also, we can click on the drop down next to one order, send it, we can preview, and we can download it. If we click on the checkbox in front of the order number, we get this toolbar that shows up. So if we click on multiple ones, right, we can change the status of those orders. We can also export the orders to an Excel spreadsheet. We get something that says your order is being processed, and when it's ready, you will see the bell here to show that it's ready. I'm sure it should be ready by now, and this is the file, and if I click on it, and it tells me that the file is ready, I can open it up. So once I open it up, because I put 3 orders into it, basically, so let's wait till that opens up, and we have 3 different orders here that opens up with some information. So first we have a regular view that has the order numbers, the customers, like this one is the one we just did that has the terms in there, 50% upon completion, people that make an express. It has some of the tags, the other vendors, and there's a lot more information as we keep going. We have another, if we click on the order detail here, we get the detail with basically all the variants, sizes, and this is good if we have like a mass order for like a company, and we need to know exactly what goes where, what we have here. So this is where basically a detailed view of that here. And then we've got all the notes if we have some notes here, right? Like this one, note that says paid in full for this order. With the 7-Eleven, there was a note that was created that says paid in full, so that will show up here. All right, this is like 3 orders completely that we added here. So this is how we can export orders here. This concludes our webinar for today. So if you'd like more information on ESP orders, the ASI knowledge base has videos and articles available 24/7 at kb.asicentral.com. All right. You can also contact our technical product support team from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern Time, Monday to Friday, and you can call us at 1-800-546-1350, or you can send us an email at support@asicentral.com. So I want to thank everyone for their time and attention. You have a wonderful, wonderful day.